Hey there, boyos and ghouls. I know there's been some weirdness on this channel with my, sister showing up lately. But I swear, she and I have been talking a lot, and she's agreed to leave me alone while I'm filming. Okay, good. Anyway, any of you guys heard of Creepshow? Becky! Originally a 1982 film, Creepshow had the benefit of a behind-the-scenes cast that, quite frankly, kicks. Written by the king of horror himself, Stephen King. Meteor. Directed by the father of the zombie genre, George A. Romero. And special effects by the macabre master, Tom Savini. It was a horror anthology that paid homage to EC Comics, a publishing house best known for Tales from the Crypt. With its cheesy sense of humor and comic book style, it was really difficult to not be charmed. It was really cute, anyway. A sequel in 1987 managed to recapture some of that old magic. But that third movie in 2006? Yeah, not quite. Now, normally, this would have been the end of the franchise. It was just a dumb 80s movie destined to fade into obscurity, remembered only by desperate, lonely nerds like me. But fortunately for me, it seems as though the streaming service Shudder is staffed by nothing but desperate, lonely nerds. Oh, no affiliation. Yet. They picked up the Creepshow name for an anthology TV series that's actually really good, you guys. Like, seriously, you should check it out. And then this last Halloween, Shudder released its Creepshow animated special. I don't know if I can technically call it an anthology like the TV series. It only consists of 2 stories. But the difference between that and this is that that's a TV series with multiple episodes, and this seems to just be a standalone piece. What do you call an anthology that only consists of 2 stories? A bithology? Without further ado, let's watch this bipolar bisexual review this bithology. Spoiler free. The first story is actually based off a Stephen King novel, which is pretty cool when you consider where this franchise started out. It follows a doctor voiced by Kiefer Sutherland.
The age-old question, how badly does the patient want to survive?
And abandoned on an island after a plane crash and facing starvation. And I know what you're all thinking. I've heard this story before, Celine. How long before he starts throwing a Donner Party? No, you're not getting it. He's on this island alone. Which means that he has to go to some extreme measures just to survive. This short gets really disturbing too, and I reviewed a Serbian film. And for the record, yes, I will continue to bring that up every time that I find something not a Serbian film disturbing. It's like a badge of honor to prove how much I can sit through. Next up, proving that I can sit through slaughter vomit dolls. Well, this Creepshow short is rather thin on plot and manages to hold your attention with just how nightmarish this situation is. This is the type of situation that would have a sane person begging for death. And yet all you can do is watch in mounting horror as things get progressively worse and worse. I do have a personal fear of anything that forces humans to resort to primal instincts, so maybe this short just played on a bias of mine. But regardless, I found myself captivated right to the end. 9 disgusting meals of seagull tartare out of 10. The second story is actually based on a story written by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son.
Please don't throw it away. I'm sorry.
Which, again, cool, keeping it in the family and all that. This story plays out like your typical Twitter feed following teenager Blake Teller as she sort of live blogs her family's road trip. She spends some time complaining about how annoying her family is before they decide to stop at a roadside attraction called the Circus of the Dead. What are you complaining about, kid? If my family vacations included trips to the Circus of the Dead, maybe I want to run away from home. Right off the bat, we can tell that things are gonna head south fast, as the staff makes no secret of the fact that, while it's mostly staffed by humans, the performers are all zombies. And the majority of the staff are just exploiting the gross weirdness implied by something called the Circus of the Dead. On the one hand, sticking zombies in a circus did feel kinda random, but the more that I thought about it, the more that I began to like this metaphor. I know that in my day of touring with the circus, back in the 19th century or so, circuses were famous for exploiting their performers. And when you face years of mistreatment, that tends to have an effect on ya. Zombies are, by nature, mindless bodies, shambling on in order to satisfy this inexplicable hunger. Sometimes zombies are even created intentionally, with a single simple purpose in mind. And all of that might be similar to how a circus performer would feel stuck in this abusive workplace, being told that they have no place outside of it. Not gonna lie, I am a little bit uncomfortable about comparing circus performers to literal flesh-eating zombies.
My name is Jeff.
As I've been in the circus for years, and I'm still the only person I've met who matches that description. But then again, when you compare this to something like Todd Browning's Freaks, this definitely feels a lot more respectful in its approach.
Google gobble, Google gobble. One of us, one of us.
At least they aren't exploiting and behind the scenes misusing actual circus performers. And it doesn't really come across as a moral judgment against the performers themselves, they're just kinda doing what zombies do. Rather, the worst of the cruelty seems to be put on the shoulders of the mortal zombie wranglers, who torture the zombies just as much as they torture the audience. If I do have one problem with this short, it's that the dialogue feels a lot like a grown man desperately trying to talk like a teenage girl.
And I promised him that if he does it, I'll invite a certain hot goth girl chick to the pool party in April so he can see her in her tacky bikini. Even though I don't like her.
Like, I'm getting some serious Life is Strange vibes from this dialogue.
I got nothing for you.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
But all in all, it's a fun little short that absolutely revels in the grotesqueness of its premise. This one gets another 9 zombie lions out of 10.
Oh, I am still girl enough to like a big cat.
And as much as I keep expecting there to be a third segment to this special, because I guess the best things come in threes. It's really short, and I would have liked to see more, but for what it is, it's really well made. The animation style reminds me very much of a moving comic, which I think is pretty cool considering Creepshow's association with EC Comics. It's disturbing at times, but funny and enjoyable overall. You could really... Celine, are you done yet? Sorry, I have to go. But make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I will see you all next time. Love you. Bye. Before I go, I just wanted to give my shout out to my underappreciated artist for the week. This time it's for O Culture Critic. As his name suggests, he reviews cult movies. And he has videos on amazing movies like Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire and The Ghost and Mr. Chicken.
It was terrible. It was just terrible.
I'll be including a link to his channel in the description box down below. Any amount of support that you guys can show him would be hugely appreciated. Thank you so much.